The further out I got, the stronger the current got.
So when we were making our plans to come to the Turks and Caicos Islands, we wanted to go to North Caicos, which is a lot emptier, not as much tourist attractions, but we also wanted to come and experience the main island, which is Providenciales, or as people call it, Provo. So for the first 3 nights, we stayed at this amazing Air B&B in North Caicos, which I'll have links below if you want to go check it out. And then for the other 2 nights, we came back here to Provo. Nolan and I came separately, and this was the day that I had a surprise for him. It was something I had done sort of last minute. It wasn't part of our budget cost, but it was so much fun to surprise him with what I had planned. We are at Sandy Point Harbor. It's Saturday morning, and we're getting ready to head back to Provo, just the 2 of us. Kind of a little anniversary getaway, and today's the day that I have my surprise for my hubby.
I can't wait.
Our friend Troy dropped us off at Sandy Point Harbor so we could catch the ferry to Providenciales. The ferry arrived and we had another scenic 30-minute ride back to the main island of Provo. Once we arrived on Providenciales, our car rental company picked us up at the dock and took us to their business where we could fill out the necessary paperwork for our own wheels. Before long, we were on the road trying to find our Air B&B.
Oh my goodness, look at this view! This view, wow!
After a few missed turns, we had to stop and ask for directions.
Some little huts, little pretty painted huts.
Okay.
And I think it's directly opposite that.
Okay.
Okay.
But eventually, we found our apartment. Once again, we had chosen to stay out of the touristy area of Grace Bay, so we reserved an Airbnb in the oldest settlement of Providenciales, the Blue Hills area. We were just steps from the beach, and it was a common sight to see the local fishing boats pulled on shore.
Check out this amazing view from our balcony. And yes, I'm so red. I should hardly go out in the sun again. I was putting on sunscreen, but I guess not enough.
After dropping off our bags, we headed down to the local grocery to grab a few things to eat.
Ready to know what we're gonna do for the day?
What are we gonna do?
I rented a boat for half a day.
No way. That's awesome. Thanks, babe.
That was staged. He already knew. I told him last night. Yes, that was a stage reaction. I just wanted to tell him when we were alone together, when we were in North Caicos, so I told him, and then he's like, well, I can fake surprise. So we tried a video where I'm like, hey, guess what we did today? We rented a boat.
No way. That's awesome. Thanks, babe.
That was staged.
We soon found ourselves sitting in a boat with the captain telling Nolan how to operate things. And then we were gone, just the 2 of us, no one around, with 6 hours at our disposal to go wherever and do whatever we wished. It felt so surreal, and the look on my husband's face made it worth every hard-earned penny spent. Before I continue with this story, let me just interject a few things about my husband. We had been through a tough few years with my health, as many of you know, but no one stood by me as did my other half. He was my moral support even when things were getting him down. He would send me to bed when he himself was exhausted after a long day's work, and he would never ever lose his patience with me when I was at rock bottom and not able to do much with him and the family. He did a million things for me, but we'll leave it at that. I just thank God for such an incredible husband, and I thank you all for being a part of this channel, for putting up with the ads in the videos, because with your help, I was able to rent this boat as a surprise. He told me that it was the highlight of his trip, and he definitely deserved it. Okay, let's get back to the story. We first went out to Turtle Rock and did some swimming and snorkeling, then just lazed around on our boat talking and eating junk food. Anchors away! Woo!
I forgot to tie it.
So we didn't realize it, but we had packed water. I'm thinking like, man, this is gonna be lukewarm water. And they packed us a complimentary ice chest full of water. And there's Coke. Oh yeah. Got our snorkel stuff. Captain's looking at the map. I am hot. I need to get some sunscreen on, get into my swimming clothes, and go swimming.
When we finally decided to start our boat again, little did we know the adventure that was waiting for us just around the corner.
This girl here is amazing. She surprised me with this boat, and I knew nothing about boats, but this is pretty cool.
Then we decided we wanted to go boating around, exploring other places. There's how many different little islands out that they said we should go check out. We saw this neat landing spot on a beach on one of these islands. We're like, hey, let's go check out this island. So we went up. We got in fairly close, threw the anchor over, jumped in, went exploring the island. We saw some iguanas, whatever. Just having fun. It was a beautiful view. We weren't there more than about 5-6 minutes or so. And I turned around and I looked, I said, is our boat out further than what we had it docked at? We weren't quite sure, so we casually started walking back down. I was taking pictures, and then suddenly I saw Nolan was like scurrying down to the beach. And I'm like, okay, I think that boat's going fast. And he was like bailing into the water, starting to swim. And at the time I thought it was funny.
Our boat kind of left on us. He's going to get it. We didn't have it anchored well enough. Oh no.
Further out I got, the stronger the current got, and I realized the boat's drifting about as fast as I can swim. And so eventually I spun around and headed back to shore, which was a little bit tough.
Suddenly I saw him turn around and my heart just sank. I'm like, oh no, he's getting desperate. Maybe he can't swim anymore, or he's realizing he can't make it to the boat. And I'm like, what if he doesn't make it back? I can't lose my husband, I can't lose my husband. It didn't look like he was that far out, but he was really, really struggling to get back. And I was just like, dear God, please let him get back. And meanwhile, our boat was just drifting and drifting further away. Praise the Lord, he made it back. But there we were, completely alone, stuck on this island, probably a mile away from like the main island. All our clothes, my camera gear, everything, our money was all in this boat. Food, water, we hadn't even taken anything, and I had my little GoPro with me and the battery died, so I couldn't even document much of it, which would have been fun.
Basically realized that our only hope is waiting for another boat.
We hadn't seen a whole lot of boats go past, and I'm like, surely there's some boats going to come. Waited, watched, waited, and suddenly in the distance we saw this tour boat coming. We had climbed up on a rock and we were just shouting. I'm sure they couldn't hear us, but we were just hopping up and down trying to get them to see us. I kept seeing the boat, it just kept going and going and going. I'm like, they're not turning, they didn't see us. Suddenly, the boat starts turning. My heart just leapt with relief.
Then they made a U-turn, came towards me, and I waded out into the water. And yeah, sure enough, it was a couple locals taking some tourists on some kind of tour.
Oh, they thought it was funny.
Yeah, it kind of made their day to take me out to my boat.
And then they took him back to our boat where he jumped on and brought the boat back to get me. But he said they were ribbing him the whole time out about losing his boat. We were so happy to be back in that boat, and thankfully we still had the rest of the day Because I'm like, man, I spent this money for a fun day out on a boat and watch us be stuck on this island until nightfall, until they realize that we're not coming back and they come looking for us in the boat. Anyway, but thankfully it was only like maybe a half an hour total experience or something, so we were able to get our boat back and enjoy the rest of the day. Anyway, whew, enough of adrenaline for one day for sure.
So after our adrenaline pumping misadventure, we were back in the boat with a few hours left until sunset. We spent some time cruising around and even went back to the island we had been stranded on so that we could take a better look at those iguanas. This time, however, Nolan made sure the boat was properly anchored.
Nolan has my camera. I think he found an iguana. Bye-bye, iguanas.
Best, I guess, if we can get the engine side free first. Yeah, you can jump in.
Bye, island.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I
just saw a dolphin.
This moment, can we stay here
See if it jumps again.
forever?
As the sun began to set, we found a quiet spot and turned off the boat so we could watch the sun dip into the ocean before returning to the dock.
We enjoyed the most beautiful sunset. We are ready to head back. It's gonna get dark really soon, and check out, you can't really see it very well, but there's a full moon behind us. Anyway, it's been a fun day. I didn't video just tons because it was just fun to be my husband and I out here without always videoing and taking pictures. So we're heading back in. Gonna go get some supper.
I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here
It was awesome.
forever?
Memories that I'll never forget.
Now, we need to go get something to eat. I am starved.
We ended the day at the Conch Shack where we enjoyed delicious food with incredible views.
I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.
In our next video, we spend our last days on Provo relaxing and not doing much before heading home to our favorite little person. I wasn't exactly sure how Xander was going to react upon seeing us, but we'll have to save that reunion until next time.